talk about single sticky hands. At our school here, we teach single sticky hands for a couple different reasons. One, obviously, you have to learn single sticky hands before you get into double sticky hands. And the second reason, and the more important reason that you're trying to do single sticky hands, is that you're learning to go with the basic concept of going with the force, not fighting the force. All right? And you do that whether you're attacking with the motion or whether you're blocking with the motion. Now, I'm going to go over the three basic attacks we do and the blocking motions that we do. And I'll go over some common mistakes people make when they do these as well. So the three attacks that we do are actually palm strike, punch, Chun, and low palm strike. All right. So let's start with the palm strike. Okay. From the hands out, I'm going to be palm striking towards the person's chest. Why do I want to go towards the person's chest? Well, when you're doing single sticky hands, you need to have the other person have the right reaction to your motion. All right? Meaning that if I aim down and just go down here, he shouldn't be following my motion. If he does that, that means that it's going to allow me to do a motion to come around. Ultimately, when he does his block, he needs to hold his motion here. If I aim down here, that opens up the door for him to attack me here. That's no good. You always want to start in a neutral position here, where he feels he could be blocking, and I feel I could be blocking. So from here, when you do your palm strike, you need to make sure you target the person's chest. Remember, this is a drill. This isn't going to be for genuine fighting application. If I do, remember, at this point here, I want my action to cause him to do the jet style block. If I were to aim towards his head, it may cause him to do a different block. If I were to aim down low, you may not need to block at all. All right, so when you do single sticky hands, make sure you aim towards the person's chest. So when I do the palm strike, it should cause him to do the jet style. Now, notice when he does the jet style, he's going to be using the elbow. He doesn't jerk down with his wrist on that. Now, if he were to jerk down with his wrist on that, that would cause me to do an inside whip motion. And I don't want that to happen either. Remember, when you do the single sticky hands, the three basic motions should be at palm strike, he juts from here, he comes in a punch, I block with bomb, and I come back down to time, all going back to that neutral position. And from here, again, you're learning to go with the flow from that. Now, how do you learn to go with the flow from just the palm strike? Well, when I do the palm strike, and he does the jet stop block, I don't want to then from here push up into his block, because that could cause him to easily use my arm as a fulcrum point, push me down, and then come back and then punch me. From here, I need to learn to go with the force and then be able to do the bomb style block. So as he comes in the punch, I go with it here. Notice how I retract my elbow just that little bit. How much do I need to retract? Enough for me to control that force. As soon as I can control that force, then I can come in as he continues the punch and I can continue my bomb style. And from here, I roll back down to the time's up. Okay? So remember, target his center and don't fight the blocking motion itself. So as I come in to do the palm strike, he comes in to do the single stick block with jet style. Don't push up into that. Then from here, he comes in to punch. I come in, I go with the force with my elbow, and then I can come back and I can do the bomb style. All right, so from here, now let's go into the next attack. From here, the next attack from the Fuchs style position is going to be the punch. Okay? So from here, again, I want to make sure I target his chest. I don't want to push down into his tanzao. If I push down into his tanzao, it's going to cause him to do an outside whipping motion and could attack me from a different angle. So from here, again, you want to maintain that neutral state. I'm in Fuchs, he's in Tan. Our lines are each aiming at the other person's center line. So from here, when I do the attack, he's going to do the tanzao block. Okay? Now, when he does a tanzao block, you want to make sure that you aim the best you can towards the person's center, but not past the shoulder. So as I go to do the block, you don't want to turn and go past the opponent's shoulder. If I go to the punch and he turns too far back here, I can easily come around from here, and then I can come in and punch. So from here, same concept. When I come in the punch, he's going to do the tanzao block. Okay? Now from here, what did I say about not fighting the force? So from here, when I do the punch and I've extended, I don't want to push back into his blocking motion. That could just make it that much easier for him to come in and do that palm strike for his next attack. And I need to feel that the control that I have in my hand from here as I come in to punch. When the block happens, then I just stop. I don't want to fight into the force of that block. Again, and make it easier for him to do his next attack. So from here, when he comes in to do the palm strike, then I can do the jet style block. Now notice from here, when he does the palm strike, again, I'm going with the force with my elbow, I go with it, and then the block naturally happens. You don't want to push down on that palm block again. Because if I push down with that jet style block, it causes him to come around that line too easily. So, from here, when you do the strike with the punch, I come in, I punch. He goes with it. He comes in here, he does a palm strike, I go with it, I jet style block. Then he comes in, I punch, he goes with it with the elbow, and then he can block with the palm side. And he circles back down to Tom. Now, let's go over the final attack. Final attack is going to be, again, from Futsal. It's going to be Chun low palm strike. Now, again, remember, you never want to fight the force. So I circle. Now, remember, this is a drill. So, as I circle here, he needs to go with the force to complete the circle. I go to do my palm strike, he again jet styles, goes with it. He comes in the punch, I go with it, and I can come in and block with palm style. Circle back down to Tom, and now I'm right back to where I started. And that's how I can do all 3 single sticky hands attack. All right. Train well.